that I just remember one time riding my bike across the main street in 52, M52, close to town, and there were cars coming, and I thought, well, I can beat the car. So I zipped across, and it was like, whoa, that's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But it didn't hit me, so who cares? And by the time I got home, my parents said, what you been doing? And well, they knew the good and bad of a small town. So in a small town, and then to go to Kalamazoo and meet people from different states, different countries, they challenged me, obviously, academically, and I responded very well. So when the people you hang around with are academic and going to the library and getting their studying done, then I did too. Junior year, you go on foreign study. And so I took a couple of classes in French and ended up spending 6 months living with a French family in Aix-en-Provence, France, which is close to the Riviera. I highly recommend it. But it was real interesting to live with a French family. And if you wanted to eat, if you wanted to succeed, you had to speak French. I graduated from Kalamazoo in '69. I got a teaching job in Stockbridge, but my wife worked at the Institute of Gerontology at the U of M. So we lived in Ann Arbor, and I commuted to Stockbridge. And then once I got the job in Saline in '73, we moved to Saline and have been there ever since. I had kids do interviews of people that lived, family members that lived during each decade. And so they did an oral history, oral interview, and we brought that back. And that way the kids took ownership of the content, and I think it helped them maintain that information, because the emphasis should be on the kids, okay? Whatever is best for the kids. Well, teach Michigan history, teach American history, teach economics, which is what I did. But it wasn't about the content, it was about the kids and how they respond to and how they learn to study. Yeah, I got a call out of the blue from Jeff Charnley at Michigan State University saying, how would you like to be on the Michigan Oral History Association board? But I said yes and got involved. And so that's what got it started. And found out about the Saline Valley Farms and thought, wow, somebody should do a history of that. Wow. So I thought, okay, I can do an oral history. I did the interviews, and then my wife did the transcribing and editing, and together we put things together. Part that it's good to write history, to read history, but to record the voice and the motions of people is very important too. That later with the Tales Come Alive, the Bixby Marionette book, that again active in Saline history, and there had been a Bixby Museum, and it just seemed like the right thing to do interviews to document this history of the Bixby Marionettes. And then the third one is about the J.W. Westcott. And when I found out about that, there have been histories written, but not oral histories as far as what was it like to work for J.W. Westcott, to be a captain, to be a mail handler, whatever. I think of my grandparents, or think of your grandparents or great-grandparents, some of the things that they would have done through the years. Wouldn't it be neat to hear their voice and actually see them telling some of the stories that you may have heard about them? So now's the time, do that. That if you haven't interviewed your parents yet, do it. Well, family first is my motto, and a 54-year marriage was just incredible. 3 kids that are still a lot of fun, and I like hanging out with them, even if they don't like hanging out with me so much. They do. The 2 granddaughters. So family is important to me. There are lots of different ways of putting it, but the way you treat others is basically how they're going to treat you. If I show respect to you, you'll show respect for me. Be true to yourself. Follow your own ambitions, your own goals. You're the center of your world, and what you're going to do after high school, what you do after college is up to you. So be true to yourself, what you want, but also, the golden rule, do unto others as you would want them to do to you. So just those basic things that I'm here to tell you that this is one life that, okay, gee, I've heard that, and you read about. No, it works.